super sport, wet paint, big feet. I pull up and kill shit, 6 feet.
Alright, 6 feet going deep. It's Nick Torius with
Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk.
Alright, Lauren, why don't you tell us about what you do?
So I have a series on YouTube that's called Sidewalk Talk. I interview a lot of musicians, I started from like electronic and then I moved into more of the pop music. And I also interview people like behind the scenes, managers. I want to do like A&Rs, bookers. Yeah.
What made you want to
editors.
do get more in depth with it instead of just doing the people with that are most notable?
Because I feel like I've always been kind of a behind the scenes person. I started with like photography and I did interviews like here and there, but it's nothing really like to share my story. And also I feel like a lot of people want to get into the music industry and like be A&Rs or like agents or managers, and there isn't that much like material for them. And everyone has a different story of how they got into it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show like there's no route, but also like how these other people like got into it.
Like the advice that they have.
Yeah, a lot of like giving advice.
Oh yeah. So you're originally from Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
How was it like living from?
It was interesting. Yeah, it was. Well, like my dad's American and my mom's Chinese, but I grew up in kind of like a British international school.
Really?
So I was kind of in a bubble. Like now I'm looking back, I'm like I was in the bubble. If it wasn't for swimming, I wouldn't have met a lot of people, like more like local Chinese. But it's like kind of segregated. But
were you always good were you always good at swimming?
Yeah, I was like the best in my high school. I was super competitive.
One time I drowned.
Oh really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like it was like a near death experience.
Oh, how old were you?
Like it was like last year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I tried learning, but I also want to stay away.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I gotta learn.
Yeah. The food's like amazing. People go there for mostly like the food shopping, and it's so modern.
Yeah.
Like the transportation, everything is like far ahead of the U.S.
So were your parents like speaking? What do they speak? Because I know your dad speaks like a bunch of different languages.
Yeah,
right?
My dad went to college to learn, like, Oriental study, that's what they called it back then. So he knows Mandarin, and then he's just a super good, like, language person. Like, he can pick up things super quickly, so he just picked up Cantonese. And then, like, my mom's from, like, Fujian in China, but then she grew up in Philippines, so then he picked up, like, Tagalog, Fujianese, and then essentially it was like him teaching me English and then my mom teaching me Cantonese, and now because they're both like speak all these languages, it's kind of like crisscross.
Really? What do you guys speak when you're at home?
Still kind of the same. Like if it's my dad, English, and then if my mom, Cantonese. But then my Cantonese is like I'd say like 80% fluent, but a lot of terms like you just gotta say in English. Yeah. I tried learning it a long time ago, but I never like stuck to it. Yeah, it's hard to hear if you can't practice. In school I learned Mandarin, and in Hong Kong we speak Cantonese, so I wasn't really able to like practice it. But I had like tutors and everything.
What about like the culture out here?
The culture, like
are you able to like practice it while you're out here?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
I think I've had like 1 or 2 producers, and we've just talked like 2 sentences, and we're like, yeah, let's get back to English. And for them, like they like it's especially if they like grew up in the U.S., it's like their Chinese is like limited, so they just say the basic stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can carry a conversation with you.
So like when it came to music, or actually, what kind of child were you like growing up?
I was super like into school. Like I never missed a day of class. Like I was really like so studious, and like my parents didn't like. They kind of pressured me.
Because I remember you saying that you're like the president of like all your committees and stuff.
Oh yeah. I did like environmental club, that was cool, and I was really into like business.
What's it like being so environmentally conscious and then living in LA?
That's a good question. I don't know. I walk a lot. I literally have a scooter under my bed. Like yeah. I don't know actually.
Because like when I came out here, I noticed that the air is very like very like smoggy.
Trust me, like I feel like a lot of people living in Hong Kong or China, like this is they'll never be able to have air like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they walk around like masks, right?
Yeah, it's so bad, the pollution there. Like, there's only one time that they shut off the factories, and it was for the Olympics, the Shanghai Olympics 2008. And that was like one of the rare days we had blue skies. So this is like, people dream to have this air.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, how's it like different from like Hong Kong and like, you know, America, or like, you know, being out here?
Yeah. I think it's kind of, the mindset is also really different of people. Like, a lot of, pretty much all my friends who grew up there are gonna like live with their parents until they're like 30 and then get married and never have the, like, never live alone. Also, it's like more expensive to live there in New York, like rent prices.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so then everything is different. Like, I feel like living alone is something that like rarely people ever experience, and it's weird if you like live alone there.
When you came here, you just came here on a whim, right? Like, you just like packed your bags and just came here?
Kind of.
Was it like that?
I mean, I still like, I'm working for a company, so I asked them if they could like change me out to over here. But I'm not really like a risk taker, so everything is like super planned out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So like, what was it like? You know, it was your first time living alone?
Yeah.
What was it like, you know, like having to be responsible for everything yourself?
It was really nice. The freedom. And just like, there's a lot of events in LA, like a lot of pop-ups or like music stuff that you can go to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hong Kong was just like, yeah, like how I was saying, like really in a bubble.
Yeah.
And if I stayed there, I probably wouldn't have been able to grow so fast and like have the confidence to like meet so many people.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you were like more of a shy person.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm just so shy. Like all my
what do you think
class
it was
participants, I got
that brought that confidence out of you?
It's a good question. I think kind of just forcing myself. Like, I feel like, well, if no one's gonna like do video interviews with all these like electronic artists, then, and I've already had like 4 years experience, so I just like kind of pushed myself out there.
What were you doing? You like typing it? You're
yeah.
just like typing the questions?
I did like initially so much through email, but I was barely able to get the responses that I wanted, and it was just like,
I've never done one through email.
It's not good, and they take a long time to respond, so you don't want to keep bugging like PR or managers to have them answer it, and they're always like on the go, or they reschedule it.
Yeah.
Like if it was like a Skype interview, and then I'm like, no, I'm just gonna wait until you're in LA and like do it.
Yeah, I think like one thing I'm trying to like implement more is like Instagram live interviews.
Oh yeah.
I noticed that like, I don't know, I did one so far, but
how did it? Was it good? I was thinking of doing that, or
it was good in the sense that because I did a really big person, like I did Bachomi Kwan. We did it at my school, so like I had to keep going like all over the campus to like, you know, find service, and then like once we got to a place that was good, they kicked us out.
That's good.
Yeah, because it's crazy because you would think like, oh, he's a big artist, he has like a lot of things to do. He wouldn't like really like wait for us to get more Wi-Fi. You know.
But I feel like that's the way with like interviews to go.
Yeah.
Like that, and I'm also thinking of like when artists have like releases, more of like
it's easier.
Like one-off things to like have them like just talk about, because for my channel I don't really do like specific releases, so that's like the way I was thinking, like to do live and have them talk about album or like actually like current stuff, and my YouTube is more like evergreen, like long-term stuff.
So when you actually started doing it, were you like nervous on camera?
It's funny because like before I moved here and started doing these, I did like a year of vlogging in Hong Kong with like my brother. I was really in the scene there, we were doing a lot of vlogging stuff. And so I was just literally film myself like going to all these events, like because I was doing fashion and food vlogging there. And then I know that also like had its own fan base, because like I was doing like half of the interviews in Cantonese, and people were curious to see me speak Cantonese because I'm not fully Chinese. Then also I brought in my brother, who like kind of looks like Brazilian. So they were curious.
I saw him and I didn't think that he was your brother.
Yeah, I know, people are like confused. And then my dad's like white, so it's like super shocking to hear him speak like fluent. So he has his own like fan base, like people love my dad. So just doing that whole year of just vlogging, I kind of understand the format. It actually came pretty easily.
But like when you started vlogging, was it awkward like talking to the camera in front of like
no, you know why? Because Hong Kong people don't care.
Really?
Yeah, they're probably like they're like in their zone with their phones. Like here I feel like people kind of more judgy, like
Yeah.
Like they don't want to seem it, but they're always like looking at people like.
Because whenever I do an interview outside,
yeah,
people like gather around, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of funny because.
Yeah.
Like when they're just like they're.
Yeah, choose more quiet neighborhoods.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because like sometimes whenever they want to do it, they were like, oh, let's go to here, like the most busiest place ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't like doing interviews in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I heard that you said that it's like kind of hard, like finding a quiet space, like to do yours.
Yeah, I've tested out so many neighborhoods.
Because I see this area right here, and it's not quiet.
Yeah. And also for my interviews, places with, what is it called, right of way. No traffic lights, because every time you stop and you wait, it like kills the vibe. So yeah, I've tested out a lot of neighborhoods. You
guys just don't talk while you're waiting?
No, it's just kind of like we just stop there and we're like distracted because we keep looking at the lights, and then it's like you don't really think properly when you're like impatient doing something. Yeah.
No, that's why I like your concept, because it's just like, I don't know, like for me, I feel like it solved the problem of not having a spot to go to do the interviews. You get me? Because like you always want to have like a consistent spot.
Yeah.
Like, but like you just like solve that problem. You're just like, I'm gonna call it Sidewalk Talk.
Yeah.
Talk while I walk on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I just kind of like everything, and also like sitting down. It's different to conduct sitting down interviews when you're like walking and talking. Because there's also like stuff going on in the background. Like I did this interview with sudden death, and there was like a dead pigeon with its like head bitten off, and we just like reacted to that. So like stuff like comes up, or like there was one and there was like a car crash behind us, and we like ran over. Like it's just
because I see that you do like a lot more editing too.
Yeah.
Like putting a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cut out the places we turn around. No one wants to see that.
You're really influenced by No Jumper, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because a lot of people were people ever calling you like a fake No Jumper.
No, because I don't do rap. I don't really do rap. I think if I did more rap, but like I do so much electronic music, and a lot of people who listen to electronic music don't listen to that much rap. Yeah. I think there is some crossover, but not that much.
Because Adam's done a couple like electronic artists.
Yeah.
So he's gotten like a lot of those fans.
Yeah. I'd say he's like 90% rap.
Yeah.
So, but I think you've had a lot of crossover with him.
That's all it is. It's like all my comments, this fake ass no jump rate is.
It's just like rap in general. Like I feel like if someone else did like electronic interviews, I mean, because my format is so different.
Yeah.
But if they did like the same walking talking ones, then maybe they would say it. But then.
Because for you, I feel like it's more like a vlog kind of.
Yeah.
Style, you know? Instead of just like we're sitting down having an interview with the electronic artist, they'll probably compare you to like I don't know like who does electronic artists?
Willie Joy, but he does like only podcasts, so audio. So I haven't really been compared to anyone.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, like I already knew like a lot of people, so I was like, let me interview, because I was rapping, so I was like, let me just interview all these rappers, and I like No Jumper, so why not, like But it's like that's not the only rap podcast ever.
Yeah, there's so many.
But they just compare me to that one.
Yeah, it's just but that's also like what's inspiring for me, like the rap scene. Like I don't interview many rappers, but there's like at least 6 solid like really good shows, and I'd say like 50 total. But there's not that much for electronic. Like I would like to see people like sit down, have a conversation where like electronic music is going, or like pop music is going. But there really isn't that. So like rap itself, and even all the complex stuff, like all the everyday struggle, the radio stuff. I mean, there's barely even an electronic like radio show.
Yeah, because for like I don't know how it is out here, but like in Miami, electronic music was really big, and like I would say like 2013 was like at its peak. It's
different
popular,
types of artists,
but it's not.
Because rap took over.
Yeah, because if you see like. Because we have Ultra, we have like Life in Color.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, like a lot of the clubs and stuff, they would mostly book EDM artists. But then now they're more, they're
that's
going
so
more
interesting.
to like the underground.
Yeah, that's
artists.
like something that I feel like I wish people would have just like a conversation about.
Yeah.
Not focus on certain artists, but the
whole general.
like industry like as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I find that really interesting.
Because I was really big into electronic music, but then I don't know, somehow it just like died.
Yeah.
And then like everyone's just this rapper.
I think it's just like a change of like where people's like Reddit. There's still so many people posting about like underground artists, and that's where I also like find a lot of stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah. Or trap. They're gonna watch this.
What about so underground like rappers or EDM artists?
Electronic artists.
So like who do you see like coming up right now?
Coming up right now.
And do you actually feel like there's room to come up? Because I did see like a.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw I think it was Diplo's interview on No Jumper. He said that like the last people to actually get into the industry were like Martin Garrix and like Zed.
Like, for like the big guys.
Yeah, to be like really.
Yeah, I feel like my the interesting about electronic music and rap and pop is that it takes a long time to develop a electronic artist. Like they'd probably be working on it for like 4 to at least maybe 8 years until they have like until they're able to like tour or like have a like fan base, whereas rap is immediate. If they have a song and they're like there,
because they already have to.
Yeah. So then I kind of put a lot of my attention more to pop music because for pop music it's kind of like in the middle. Yeah. Like they might have some solid songs that would get them like out there or like YouTube videos. So I'm mostly on Spotify looking at like New Music Friday, those artists, because I know like somehow for like electronic music it'll take some momentum, and by the time they're at the size that I want to interview them, like there's no rush, if that makes sense.
Do you also feel like it's harder for them because like I guess with like rap, you know, you're saying words and everything, like people know who you are, whereas like with electronic music a lot of people, they know the song but they don't know like the person behind it.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people have said that my interviews were the first time to see all these people talking, which is crazy. That would never happen in rap. Like they would never be like, No Jumper's the first time I saw this person's face. Like that would never happen, or heard his voice.
No, like I actually hit up Marshmello to do an interview. Yeah. And they said, oh, that's gonna be hard because he doesn't talk.
Well, although I did one with Slow Magic and he wears a mask.
Really?
And then, what we did was we like automated like Siri'd his voice, so it sounds like a robot, and that's like something he was comfortable like with putting out. But then now that I know there's a format, like if they don't show their voice and I could just automate it, then I could interview like all these mass artists too.
But it's also funny. Remember we did this artist called No Motion. I've never seen him without his mask before. Yeah. And then when I interviewed him, I saw him without his mask. I was like, oh shit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is same for Slow Magic. People still don't know what he looks like.
But I think it's different. Well, I think it's different because like, well, does he like sing and stuff, or like does he?
No, yeah, he doesn't.
Like, yeah, because like when you hear them talk, or you think of them some other way, but then once you see their face, because I thought this guy was like, you know, like super black. Yeah. But he was more like, he wasn't like, no, I mean like he was like, I want to say Indian. Yeah. But he had like, he looked kind of Indian. There's not exactly. But it was just so mind blowing to me because like I've listened to this guy's music since I was like really little, and it was like, you know, MF Doom.
Yeah, I've heard like of the name.
Yeah, he like how he wears his mask. Like you never, no one really sees his face. It's like you listen to him and then like you meet him and he looks like he wears glasses. Yeah. So it's first funny. Like he's like this like super edgy like rapper, and then I see him wearing glasses.
That's true. I've actually don't think I've ever really seen rappers wear glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than Logic.
He wears glasses. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like the spectacles.
Oh yeah. I see no more Rick and Morty. He wasn't wearing glasses. But yeah, so when you do meet with artists, like how is it like, you know, like listening to them and then you finally meet them and then like you meet them. Like what is that feeling like for you?
I feel like kind of shocked. There are a few interviews that I've done, like Flosstradamus and Troy Boy, What's So Not, Krewella, that I've just been like huge fans. Yeah. And then to do an interview with them is like, I mean, it's amazing. But then
I was the same way when I like was going through your page. I saw it, I was like, what? She interviewed all these people. Like, those are like my dream interviews.
But I feel like more so for the big interviews, it's less about the artist but the conversation. That I know more eyeballs will be watching it. So I'm like the Nightmare one, I was like, okay, I have to remember all these facts, like do really good in-depth knowledge and like make the conversation flow. Yeah. And there's just more like pressure on me to like engage.
Do you always feel like you have enough time to do your interviews, or just do you feel like sometimes they're rushed so you can't really like get to every point or have like a smoothing conversation like you would want to?
That's a good question. I feel like for the most part it's like, I feel like a 30-minute mark has just been easy, and then if like one question they were answering a bit slower, maybe I think of a question that they'd be like have more of an answer to, or like need something like shorter and like pick up the pace.
Yeah.
But I feel like now it's become a routine that like the first 5 to 8 minutes is about their childhood and cover that, moving on to like maybe they went to college or like maybe they got signed, and then
I think that's what the format of how this was going. I think that's the format how this was going.
Yeah. It's so curious. Yeah, and then if they get off track, I literally just be like, stop. I cut that up. I'm like, because within 5 minutes and they're already talking about getting signed, I'm like, dude, chill. They're just going way too fast. I'm like,
no, but
let's talk about your parents.
Sometimes if they feel like talking about it, then like I would like just like sidetrack back to like, oh, you know, like tell me about your childhood or something, you know.
Yeah, you're kind of like, I'm gonna cut this up, but let's stop.
For me, well, I don't know. Have you ever gone to like a concert and tried to interview someone, but you didn't really have enough time?
Oh, I've probably done 1 or 2 concert interviews. It's too noisy. I did with a Wonder, and they're like about to like perform, and it just like was like too pressed for time, and especially like they were so good with like opening up because I asked them about their childhood and like being in the UK, but like it's, I don't know, I feel like because of the atmosphere and like the loud noise and everything, it like throws you off, especially if they're like about to perform. I feel like they have like this like mindset, like adrenaline, and they're like not relaxed and like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I go to a lot of shows trying to get artists, but then it's like it's really hard.
Yeah.
Depends.
And so I try to, and also I can't because like now I do the sidewalks, it has to be like before 6 p.m. So then like I meet them like before their show, like sometimes if it's like 4 p.m. and they have a team like figuring it out and their PR already knows and like set aside time, so they're like more chill, but they're still like kind of on edge. Yeah. With actually it's good with like the sunset because I can't do them at night, so I'm like,
because I always see them like at sunset, but I'm not sure if it's like you're editing or
oh no,
it's real sunset.
Yeah, it's real sunset. Sounds romantic though.
So when you're actually like interviewing smaller artists versus bigger artists, what do you feel like the conversation is better at?
Smaller artists generally don't have that much content out like other interviews, so sometimes it's harder, or like actually, or even not small artists but like people in the music industry, like they don't have anything out about them, so it's really like me thinking on my feed for the next questions, whereas a lot for the bigger artists I know exactly the plan of how I'm going to do the interview, like which topic, then which topic, then which topic, because they have like 30 interviews out there and I read them all and like write it out. So for smaller artists or behind the scenes, it's like that's like where I'm really testing my skills because I'm like really thinking on the spot. Yeah,
because that's like my approach to it. Like I don't really write questions. I just like try to like see whatever I can like pull out from it.
Yeah, I have like when I do my research, I read all the sites, like read all their previous interviews and have like a notebook over there. But I write like all the different points that are interesting to talk about, and then like maybe, I mean you don't see it because they cut it out, but in the middle of the interview I would just like look at my phone and like I'd take screenshot of my notebook and then like go through, so I'm like still like
I feel like the reason I don't do it is because I was cursed, you know, because like every time that I wrote down questions I would not get the interview. Like I'll be like, oh, this person's gonna interview me, alright, I'm gonna interview this person, alright, for sure. So I was doing my research and I would write down all my questions. I had really good questions. And then, oh, I can't make it, or no, I'm not gonna do it, every single time. Like, it happened like 10, 12,
But you
12
researched like the day before, or like long time before?
Like I will spend a lot of time researching it.
Oh, yeah, so I do it the day before, so like by that time, like it's already set in stone.
Yeah, I mean...
And like do a lot through like PR and like probably only 1 or 2 that are in there that I haven't been able to to do the interviews with. Mostly have been able to work out.
For me, it's just like been a big string of bad luck. But like when I wouldn't, because I do a lot of underground artists, so I don't really write questions because there's nothing on them. Yeah. So I'm just like gonna, just ask like general stuff. Yeah. So like eventually like they'll tell me a story, and then someone watching it will learn from it. Yeah. You know? So when I would do that, I always get the interview. But then once I write something down, like I went to this event called Trap Circus. I wrote down questions for like a lot of the artists that I did, right? That I wanted to interview. The only people I didn't write down questions for was like Adam 22, Lil Tracy, BWA Ron, Reggie Mills, pretty much all the people I interviewed. Everyone else I wrote down questions for, I didn't interview them. So that's when I was like, I'm cursed.
That's also like my personality, because I was like really like studious in school. Like I still literally wake up and have nightmares I didn't study for my test.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm like, I have a test tomorrow, and this is like like school was like a long time ago. But like if I'm not prepared for something, I like get really nervous and like forget stuff. That's like the people that I hated in school, because they would just like know a bit about like the science topic and wing it, whereas me, I'm like,
because I learned that life is all about like your general knowledge. Like if you just have a general understanding about it, then you're good. Because like honestly, like while I'm still in school, like the semester, I did not try like at all, and I got like 3 A's.
Gosh, no.
I've never tried
I studied so hard.
So do you? So you basically think that like, well, the way that you take on life is more like a prepared, organized way of everything. Yeah,
it's like my mindset for everything is like super thought out, like calendar. I'm like super structured kind of thing. Yeah. So
like behind the scenes, are you doing like everything, or is it like you have people like assistants or anything?
I do everything. Like I set up all the interviews, I edit it all, I shoot it all. Yeah.
That's great. Because like, how long did it take you to like get to like where you are right now?
Well, I started in August, so, but I also did like, but I mean, like, I started like 4 or 5 years ago when I started interviewing artists. Yeah. So I already had connects.
I mean, like, when did you see like everything? Like, when did you see like momentum?
Oh, momentum.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Getter, but he his thing, like he shared it, so that was like one of the first interviews that like captured a lot of the electronic fan base, I guess. And then I'm trying to think, Nightmare brought in a lot of people, Krewella brought in a lot of people.
That was the first one I saw.
I'm a
big Krewella fan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love that interview. And there's a lot of like just crossover.
Well, why'd you do them separate? Why'd you do them separate?
Oh, I do everyone separate.
Really?
Yeah. Like I like Lewis the Child. I have Jack and Jack coming up. Glitch Mob.
Yeah.
I did the 3 guys separately.
Oh, really?
And it was so cool because like one guy we talk about like VR, and he has a blog and he writes about more like philosophy. The other guys like is more about his like Chinese heritage, and the third guy just about like his different like childhood upbringings, and like people are so different. That's why I can't, like I used to interview duos together, but like you never really are able to get like that much information because you're always like swiveling between the two.
Yeah, and sometimes they want to say something that they can't say in front of the other person. You ever done that way?
I haven't done that many duo interviews like together.
Well, I would assume that.
Yeah.
Well, because I always do them like all together.
Yeah.
Because I like like that whole, I'm here with my crew, my squad, and, because then it's more comfortable and relaxing.
Yeah.
Like one time I had an interview with this guy about like 26 of like his boys, and they were all like roasting me.
Oh my god.
They were just like going in. It was like an hour interview. They were all going in on me.
Yeah, that's like imagining interview broadcast, and I'd be like,
yeah.
Can I do everyone separately?
Yeah. So who's on your list? Like who do you really want to interview?
Who I really want to interview? Josh Pan. I mean, he's my friend. Just like pull through. Kid. He's getting requested a lot. I want to do Hillary Duff. Oh, yeah. He's just like full circle. Like sometimes I'm like just pop artists like Sasha Sloan. I don't know, but like her, even like Kat the Luna, like TBT people that I really like listening to. Who else? Lido. I just went to his thing last night. Anna Luno, Alice in Wonderland. Some I've interviewed like before, but not for Sidewalk. Pop artists.
So is it easier? Alita. Is it easy for you to get Sidewalk Talk interviews since you did all the interviews before? Like that's
kind of. I have like a collaboration with a magazine called like Sea Heads. So we like collab on a lot of interviews, and like with that, like I've been able to get a lot of interviews. Oh. Yeah.
Are you ever trying to expand into the rap interviews?
Not really. I feel like there's a lot out there, and I feel like I don't have that much knowledge. Like I like rap, but I feel like to be a rap interviewer, you have to have all this knowledge and like know who's who, and my attention isn't there. So I feel like it's not something I really want, and I feel like I'm just not doing it justice, because like it would be for like the people who are like geeking about rap, and if I half-ass it. It's not like, I'd rather do like pop and electronic, and that's like my main thing. Like I've interviewed like Kami who's with like Vic Mensa, or I also interviewed like Rico Nasty, but then it's like because there are people like pitch to me, but I haven't really even been getting like rap suggestions, but there's so many out there who can do a better job than I will, so I'm just no jumper.
Yeah, because the way I feel about it is that, like, I mean, for me, interviews are interviews. Like, I watch interviews with, like, you know, I don't know, civil engineers. So that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, there's always knowledge to be gained somewhere, you know? Like, just because you're listening to someone talk about something, you can apply it to, like, you know, something else. Because you know, even though I felt like there wasn't too much of a big EDM scene, I was still listening to your interviews.
Yeah, I meant more so of like the interviewer itself. Like you want someone who's like I mean, even like I was just watching the Kanye and like Charlemagne. Like, why did he pick him? There's like a reason. There's so many other interviewers out there. Why did he pick him? Yeah. But it's because of his like vast knowledge of like hip hop, and I feel like I don't really have that for like rap to like do a decent job.
Do you have a lot of rappers that hit you up for interviews?
Not really. Right. Electronic artists mostly, or like pop music. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people in rap like watch my interviews. Right. Yeah.
What do you think? What does it take to get a Sidewalk Talk interview?
I was thinking about this last night, and I think like it's hard to like say like a certain I don't want to say like a certain level, but like it can't be like so super underground person that no one's like gonna watch it. Like I mean they have to be like somewhat buzzing, maybe like touring nationally to actually have like people curious about their story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because you know you want to give them that, platform so they can talk about, you know, give them exposure. Yeah. But it's like, no, who's gonna click it?
Yeah, it's like who's gonna click it, and also like there's no rush. So but like some interviews I've turned down, and I'm like, wait, maybe next year. Like there's no rush to do these things. Maybe by that time you also have like more stuff to talk about. I have more stuff to ask you. So like there's no reason for you to do it like tomorrow. Like if you're like passionate about your music, you're gonna do whatever you can to like put out an EP, album, start touring, and then like, you know what I mean.
Do people hit you up when they don't even have music out?
Kind of, mostly like a bit of music, but then
I don't know. I get this feeling that it's like so different from you, right? Because like I don't know. For me, it's like everyone hits me up, like they're like, oh, I'm about to drop a song. Let's do an interview. And, like you don't have like no one knows who you are.
Yeah, I think. I've only had like. We've probably only had 10 people hit me up because mostly I've gone through like PR and stuff. And I think if they already have management in PR and they're already like touring, I'd be like down. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's different.
So like, well, since you only had like 10 people, was anyone ever like disrespectful about you turning them down?
Not really. I'm just like, maybe when you have more songs out or EPs, so like that's something for them to work on.
Because I feel like in the rap it's different. Because like if you turn them down, they're gonna like cuss you out and say like, oh, you're gonna be begging me for an interview next.
Just as intense for me. Also like a lot of like some rappers like flaked on me. I'm like, this is not worth it. Rappers they're like late. I'm like, I like my electronic people.
Are they always on time?
Yeah, like always on time, early, like. Their PR set everything up perfectly. Like, I don't know.
Most of the time I deal like with the artist like personally. You know, like I just talk to them.
Yeah, and that's like when you have to like run around and like get interviews. Because I know even for like Adam, he talks about like how they like reschedule all the time or like. That's also like why I like can't have that lifestyle because I'm still like.
And plus you're here already, so.
Yeah.
Like if they were scheduled, they're gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
Miami is there for like. An artist will come to Miami and then come back like 5 years later.
Yeah. It's so different, our scenes actually.
But like, I don't know, like I want to do this because like, I don't know, I think it would be a good thing to like mix the scenes together.
Yeah, merge our worlds.
Because like, I mean, electronic, because at first I wanted to become an electronic DJ.
Yeah.
And then I started.
Like, what type of music?
Like dubstep.
Oh, okay.
Because I was making like, I use Logic, so like I was just like, learning how to do everything. Yeah. And then wanted to do like tropical house.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually I just started rapping and stuff and doing like making beats.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it like just transitioned, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I feel like it transitioned with like the whole wave.
Yeah.
You get me?
I'll ask you more about that in your interview.
No, yeah. So I had another question, but then I started.
Yeah, no worries. I'm always like that. I'm just like staring at the sun. Okay, yeah.
No, yeah. So what about like any like misconceptions with your interviews? Is there any
like how?
Like what people see on the surface isn't like what is really going on, kind of thing?
No, I mean for the most part, I'd say it's 80% kind of what they see, but 20% there's always a PR person walking in front of us, and it's just because I mean like they want to hear what we're talking about, but at the same time they don't know the route. And then also I feel like because they're like literally like right in front of the camera, because they can't walk behind, otherwise they'd be in the shock, so they'd be like in front, and then like they don't know the routes, it'd be like them dodging, and then me like feel like I can't fully open. And I hate like having people like if they'll come with their whole team with like managers and PR people and they just wait in the sun, and I feel like bad, but then at the same time I'm like,
do you ever have them come alone like by themselves and you're like, wow, they just came by themselves?
There has been people who have, and I'm like so happy when they do, because it's just so chill, and they're probably like more comfortable. Like even them, if they're with like managers or PRs, I've seen them like kind of like be more stiff. But I feel like if I ask them to come alone, it's kind of sus, right? So I never like specify.
I feel like that the way to me too, because I'm a guy, so it's like, you know, that's the move. But I mean, I like when they come along too.
Yeah,
it's just you know.
Yeah, but I've never had any really that come with friends.
Really?
Yeah, it's mostly maybe one or two, but mostly I've been like managers in PR. Yeah.
So if you had like any advice that you want to give to like anyone starting out with EDM, what would you tell them? Like
interviews, or I don't really have producer advice because I don't produce.
Or like interviews.
For interviews, I'd say, damn, like just start from like the lowest that you can. Like if it wasn't for the 4 or 5 years of me doing email interviews, knowing that doesn't work, and then also like audio, and then I transcribed it. It doesn't work. Like keep evolving. Like that's the number one thing. Like even now I have like my interviews, I'm like, okay, what's next? Okay, I have a house tour coming up. I have Sidewalk Fundamentals where I have like touring DJs talk about what they travel with. I have one called like Love Advice.
Oh, really?
And it's all for like different people in music. Like the interviews, I feel like it's half an hour. Some people don't have that patience, but they want to see like a house tour because that's funny and it's like animated. Or they want to be a producer, and I have the Sidewalk Fundamentals, so they know what the producers bring on tour. And then I have the Love Advice, which is more of the comedy aspect, because like my interviews aren't funny, they're like kind of serious. I mean, only if like we laugh like randomly, but it's not like a comedy show. Like you don't go to my interviews to laugh. So, and then I have like covering a lot of like show stuff, but basically it's just like start small and keep evolving, and don't like stay stagnant. Like I feel like if like I was boxed in, because I also like been also working with like other companies, and I know when you start working with a company you're kind of boxed into your job, so like be happy that you're like working alone, and I'm glad to do everything from the beginning to the end myself and decide the releases for everything. So
instead of waiting on another person telling you when.
That, or like getting shut down for ideas. Like maybe if I was doing this sidewalk for a company, they'd be like, why are you doing Love Advice? Like cut that out. So like be happy that you're not working for anyone yet.
Of course. Well, before I ended, like have you ever like tried doing music yourself?
No, I probably maybe once, but it's just like not at all what I'm like into.
Would you ever like try?
Probably not. It's just like I don't know. It's not like something that I'm like curious about. Like I'd say like photography and videos have been my biggest hobbies, and those are just like so exciting for me. And I'm more of like a consumer. So like it's just not like I just can't see myself. Like I have so many musician friends, and I'm like, you're there, and I'm here with my photography.
Nah, yeah, of course. So where do you see like everything going? Like where do you see like the big picture? Where's it gonna go?
Yeah, I want it to be more of like a music kind of like platform that not just like, I know I talk about a lot of electronic music, but I want it to be like more broad. I want it to cover like festivals in the world, more like backstage shows, hanging with producers. Like you feel like you actually have a bond with these producers, and then maybe like down the line like merch or something. So just kind of like like how we all are like new wave like media channels, companies. Like MTV is gone now. I mean, they're still there, but then it's like not, they don't have that originality or like excitement. But even like the Cribs, like at that point that was like crazy, that was so cool, you know? But then it's like what is now like exciting is like for like creators like us who like see stuff through our own like perspectives.
No, that's a good way to say it. I just realized that. Because I always think about that, like, oh, you know, like, you know, if I come up, if No Jumper comes up, you come up, well, you don't do hip hop.
Academics.
Yeah, Academics.
I watch Academics for the lols.
Yeah,
super fun.
I mean, he has more, like, this is the thing, like, he also has more attention than, like, I'd say, like, all the blogs combined. But why are people still going to the blog route to premiere certain stuff?
I don't go on xxl.com or like complex.com to like read up. I go on YouTube and I just watch Academics pretty much.
I mean, they're still the mainstream sites, but like,
it's not
even like smaller ones. There's so many of those like niche like just blogs, like just typing blogs. But people like PR still pitch like music, at least for like pop music and electronic music, pitch to those sites. But then now I'm like thinking like I want to do like more interesting stuff, like backstage access to a show. But like a PR person would not think to like pitch me like, do you want to go to like a Manila Killa show? I mean, I know those people as just an example, but like to go at backstage and like hang with the people, and probably like a lot of their friends are gonna be there, and that's like huge exposure to like everyone, and I'm gonna like write their names on the videos. But I feel like they don't really think like how, like what's new. They're still like, they have a song, they go to premiere on a blog. I don't remember the last time I cared about a blog premiere.
Of course.
It's just like, it's funny because like we're here and like people get it who are on YouTube, but then it's just like gonna take people who are like in the industry longer to understand like what's happening and to change the way they approach to like promote music.
Starting route to Taco Bell.
No, yeah, of course. Well, do you have anyone you want to shout out? With that being said, shout out Taco Bell.
Shout out Taco Bell. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Oh my gosh, shout out like all the early people who like were down to do sidewalks even before I like even had any equipment or anything, and they were like down to do it. Like it's not like every time I think back I'm like, wow, you like literally said yes, if like even if I didn't have anything. And like, and also like shout out to all the managers and PR people who like understand it, because like it's taking a while to like have people like understand like this like swivel to video. And yeah, I'm like surprised and really excited for more of the people like in the industry to like be on board with the format.
Yeah, because it's like
people.
because they just want the blogs, but it's like, you know, people are starting to come over here.
Yeah,
that's what.
So it's learning for everyone.
And where can they find you at?
They can find me Sidewalk Talk on YouTube.
Can find you walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah, like the thing about people like stop me, but like don't. I mean, you can. Well, I'd probably have to cut it out.
Do you ever like be places and you're like, yo, you know who the fuck I am?
What, like those artists?
No, you.
He's asking if you developed an ego, like.
No, it's like an inside joke with us, because we're always like, yo, do you know who I am? Like, we're like.
I think for a lot of like the electronic community, it's like kind of like a small tight thing. So like if I go to like electronic shows, there's always like one or two people who like recognize me.
If I go to a rap show, everyone knows me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like,
yo, 6 feet, yo, 6 feet.
Let me get a picture. Yo, 6 feet.
Wow.
Do people ever call you Sidewalk Talk?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Kind of, yeah. I don't really mind it.
Because I like when people call my name.
I feel it like, I don't know. I don't really think about it that much. As long as they like watch my stuff, I'm like happy.
Oh, yeah, they recognize you, bro.
Yeah.
They watch your shit.
For sure. Oh, you were saying where they could find you at?
Oh, and like Twitter is Sidewalk Talk Show without the O. Instagram is Sidewalk Talk Show. And that's it. I have 3 platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you check out Instagram because your pictures are fire.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like shoot it all.
Yeah. I actually love that aesthetic. It's like, I don't know.
It's like really blue.
Well, when I saw it was like more sunset.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think
Interesting. Yeah. It's like
That's how I see
blue,
it.
orange sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that just for like the sidewalk. My own Instagram is like completely different.
Yeah. For sure.
See, thank you so much for having me on. I don't know if you cut this, but thank you so much.
Well,
This is
yeah.
awesome.
Of course.